Domestic violence is an aggressive, physical behavior that occurs within a home, typically with a spouse, partner, or family member. The LGBTQ+ community suffers from silencing their domestic violence experiences due to their social stereotypes. 1 in 10 LGBTQ personnel have experienced a sexual assault but have never spoken about it. To raise awareness, we are presenting a transgender male from Texas A&M International University who has managed the courage to speak out to our fellow victims. This is his story.
I am a student at TAMU. I am Hispanic and part of the LGBT community. Growing up in Laredo, everyone has this kind of all men should be strong. It's coming from both Hispanic culture and the culture of the United States. It kind of pushed me to tell myself to deal with a lot of it. It was kind of like if I spoke up about it, if I complained about it, I wasn't man enough. I am a trans man. It was kind of like, if you want to be a real man, this is what you do. And you can't show your emotions, you can't cry, because that's not what real men do. And so I kind of pushed myself into what they saw as a real man to fit that narrative. And then with my sexuality, they kind of push that more. And if you're going to be gay, then you have to overcompensate. You have to be more than the other men. I am a strong believer in education is the only way to fix things that are wrong. So like forms of discrimination and things of that nature, we can't blame anyone unless we educate them on the topic. And so I'm willing to share experiences to help. It was a friend that she wouldn't allow us to have a label. They aren't from Laredo, and I am. So usually I would stay in their dorm if I was to stay on campus. I would just completely ignore my classes to go be with her because she needed me. At that point, I just kind of resided into my room. My mom told me that she had never seen me like that, and it kind of worried them. And it even got to a point where she had put a knife to my neck. It was terrifying. I have to get out. This isn't love. I've gained a nice group of friends here. One of them pulled me aside and asked me if I was okay. Even though it was so simple, I had bottled it up for so long that I just started crying. And he told me I didn't have to go back. The rest of them just came up and started you can sleep in my room. We'll lend you clothes, we'll do this. It just kind of gave me the courage to just start avoiding her. If they hadn't done that, I wouldn't have reached out. And so even though at one point I can say that I feared for my life, after each hit, you become more dependent on that person. And it becomes harder and harder to live without them. Almost sure that at one point, her or one of her friends would have hurt me, because when I was with her, she would always make vaguely threatening things about, locking me up, that I was hers. There came a point where I thought that if I got into a car with her, that I would never see my family again. And so if my friends hadn't stepped in, everything kind of would have become devoted to her. It's not that scary getting help. Asking your friends if they're okay, asking your brothers, asking your sisters. It's not something that should be taken lightly, because those are the people that you turn to. Be aware for yourself and be aware for everybody else.
#us too.